Welcome to Busted Open, the Masters class. Here we are with our Masters of the Ring. Tommy Dreamer, Bully Ray, Mark Henry. Gentlemen, how are you today?
Wonderful.
Cold as hell.
Oh, it
Dandy.
is I like it. Dandy, cold, good. I love it all because this is our Masters class. School is now in session, and no better than you three to teach everybody in the Busted Open Nation. And right now, the title of this show is about the terminology. And if we've pulled that curtain back too far, are we crossing a line? And I don't think there's a better time than having that conversation right now. And I go back to one of the most watched pro wrestling show in recent memory, and that's the Monday Night Raw debut episode on Netflix. In that open, Triple H is saying babyface heel. Triple H is saying work and shoot. Here we are. We hope a lot of first-time people are watching wrestling. So is it too inside baseball? Is there certain terminology that people outside the industry should or should not be using? And Tommy, I start with you. I know you have strong feelings about this. Is there a going too far when it comes to terminology?
I do believe so, yes. When it comes specific to terminology, words, I mean, what word is sacred anymore? I can't say kayfabe is sacred. It got so bad that in ECW, and I know, hey, we changed everything. We literally changed the word kayfabe. And only people within ECW knew it. And we would say it, and the moment we said it, it was like, oh, it's time to do what we're supposed to be quiet because there could be a fan around. I'm not so much hung up on words. I'm hung up more so, and this is just the reality, the magician revealing the secrets. You have it in documentaries, you have it all on all this stuff, podcasts, right? And it's not just throughout WWE, it's across the board. Then it goes to I saw specific moments where I literally are questioning why. On the debut episode of Monday Night Raw, I'm like, why are they showing this behind the scenes stuff with The Rock? And it's in a different light. It's literally shot differently. After Raw goes off the air, I'm finding more clips. Rock and Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre came on our busties, literally cut his precursor to this different type of character, and dropped an F-bomb and walked out, where all of us are like, damn, what's going on with him? We're treating it as it is real because it was real to all of us. Storms off, really brought the show on a down note. And we're like, oh, he's not just playing a character. He's being, Drew. And then what? After he goes out, has a match with Jay, I'm seeing stuff on the internet about words that he can say on streaming platform with Rock, right? And he's joking and he's being not Drew the character. The YouTube documentary was another one of pulling back the curtain. I don't know what's sacred anymore. Locker rooms are supposed to be sacred. Still to this day, you will have players only meeting. No press allowed. How people handle certain things is completely different. Again, I'm not talking contract status or stuff, but what is supposed to be sacred in this business? I've said this, and my mom passed away saying, I know you guys are predetermined, but you guys really go at it. I never smartened my mom up. My daughters literally have asked, Dad, what's a gimmick? You and Mom will always say something, this gimmick. And they're like, is it a verb? Is it a noun? And I'm like, yes. But that's within my own household. So, and I'm not saying, oh, I shouldn't, smart. But honestly, what we do as professional wrestlers, athletes, entertainers is very, very much real. We all like I'm looking at people my age and older, or my age and younger, the bruises on their bodies, the I see so many people like walking with limps, that because of what they did in their to their bodies, they will feel it, and they're not old people. And it's like, oh, I got to get this fixed, I got to get that fixed. Or no, like I talk to so many wrestlers, like, man, I'm in a lot of pain. And like to me, then it goes to like, well, then isn't this supposed to be fake? But that's also because of how much we're letting people in.
Well, and can I just
And
jump
then
in
the
for a
magic
second?
here's my biggest thing, then it goes away. The magic goes away. It really and truly can. You can a word, Dave, you and I lived through it. I never felt so crushed on the 2020 John Stossel expose, where I was like, no way, there's no way. Like, this can't be. And like went out and defended. Then thank God the Pro Wrestling Illustrated showed me like, oh, okay, yes, this doesn't, because I was a true believer. Or even like my trainer, he really didn't smarten me up until like you had to learn how to be smartened. Continue.
And I think it goes beyond just words, guys, because I think I'm talking to three examples of this. When you just talked about injuries, like you guys have given your bodies to making people believe that everything that you're doing in the ring is 100% genuine. So I would have to think when you're talking about more than just bruises, broken bones, things that will never heal. But you did that so that everybody who was watching you in that ring believed that what you were doing was 100% genuine. I would have to think that that angers you when there's going to be people that are dropping terminology that never actually stepped in the ring and put their body on the line like you guys have done. It bothers as a fan, it bothers me. Go ahead, Mark.
I think that, I've been a part of the problem just like everybody else. Like I when I first came on this show, there was stuff that I wouldn't say. There was stuff that it hurt me to think about saying. And I do radio and even on this show, we'll say don't get hot, like, work the gimmick, like the kayfabe is minimal now compared to, smarten him up, like we use terminologies all the time. And maybe it's us. Now, talking about a work and a shoot was different for me. That touched me a little different than saying, damn, don't get hot, Dave. Like that's different. Like when I start thinking, well, I mean, it's a work, but don't mean that it can't be half shoot. Like I don't need to talk like that to nobody. Nobody. And I would ask my brethren in the sport, our slimy underbelly, please don't show that to them. And when I say them, I mean everybody that's not us. Like there's stuff that fans shouldn't want to know. But if you say, oh no, this is special, double secret, private information only for wrestlers. There's some people that just want to know. They have to know. I want to hear it. We can't allow that.
And Mark, to your point, and then Bully, I want to get your take, is that's why it's so polarizing what Triple H said in that open on Monday Night Raw. He used certain terminology like work shoot. Now, he's using that in an open for Monday Night Raw where there's going to be new eyes on the product for the very first time. I've always said here on this show, there's certain things that I will never say because I feel like it's disrespectful. There's a certain line I won't cross because I feel like it's disrespectful. There was certain terminology that was used that I was very surprised was used in that open on Monday night. And maybe maybe at this point I shouldn't be surprised. So maybe this was an awakening for me. Bully, your thoughts on this?
Johnny Valentine once said, I can't make you believe that pro wrestling is real, but I can make you believe that I am. That really resonated with me over the years. And with the curtain being pulled back now so far, I look at it as just because the curtain has been pulled back so far doesn't mean that I have to pull it back even a little. Just because the wrestling business has been pulling the curtain back doesn't mean that I have to, nor that I want to. And if I don't pull the curtain back, I can make you believe anything I want you to believe in this business. There is absolutely nothing, no strings I can't pull. There's no story I cannot get you to believe in because I refuse to pull the curtain back at certain times. Do I think it's been pulled back too much? Absolutely, because I'm old school. I've been doing this for 30 years. Mark's been doing it for 30 years. Tommy's been, we've been doing, so yeah, do we believe it's been pulled back too far? Absolutely. I'm witnessing a very interesting situation in pro wrestling right now. Not really about in pro wrestling, but with a particular professional wrestler. I'm witnessing the struggle with the pulling back of the curtain firsthand. Because every week I'm taping a brand new show for the A&E network with the WWE called LFG, Legends and Future Greats. And one of the coaches on that show, along with me, is The Undertaker. And this is the first show that The Undertaker has done where we got the documentary about him. But this is the first this is his first foray into the wrestling business, I believe, that's not in character Undertaker in the middle of a ring. And on this show, we're seeing what goes on behind the scenes in the making of pro wrestlers. And during the show, the curtain has been pulled back. And I'm watching a guy who's even more old school than me, who lived the gimmick 24/7, who actually struggles to say certain words at times. And I'm so in tune with it. Like I hear him like instinctually want to say, I'll just use the word work or shoot. I instinctually, I hear him want to say the word, but like catch himself and not say the word, but then remind himself it's okay to say the word. So it is jarring. There are certain fans that I correspond with on social media that I will follow and I will DM with at times. And one of these fans DM'd me the other day and he said, "Don't worry, I got you, brother." And dude, let me tell you, I like this guy too. I like this guy a lot. But if this guy was standing in front of me, I'd give him a fucking earful. I let it slide. Say again, Mark?
I said, would you cuff him?
I would give him a nice earful because I genuinely do like this guy. But a fan became so comfortable with me that he's calling me brother. Listen, you want to call me brother in the biblical sense? Okay, fine. Don't call me brother in the wrestling sense.
No. Hey, Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee has been in the business, working very closely for the last 2.5 years. And he said some shit that I said, hey, not your place.
Mm-hmm.
And he went, oh, man, I'm sorry. I didn't try to. I said, I love you, man, but we not there yet.
Yeah. Mark, remember when we were at Wildcat Sports a couple months ago during Christmas time?
Yeah.
One of the boys introduced himself to me in the back, and he was very, very, very comfortable, like entirely too comfortable with his initial hello to me, his initial introduction. And like he didn't give me the typical like regular handshake. He gave me like the like Carl Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator, like the arm wrestling handshake. And he's like, "Hey brother, good to see you." And I pulled him in. And I let him know what. And I let him know why use of the term brother on initial introduction with a veteran isn't exactly polite. It shows too much comfort. I would never introduce myself to if I met somebody today that I had never met in the wrestling industry, a veteran. Tommy, off the top of your head, who's alive today that's even more veteran than us? Anybody? Who?
Ricky Morton.
Yeah, but like maybe we haven't met.
That you haven't met.
Probably nobody. But if I met a veteran who was like 70 years old, I would never go up to him and say, "Hey, how you doing, brother?" and shake his hand. I'd be like, "Hello, sir. My name is Bubba. It's a pleasure to meet you." And I would give him a nice, normal handshake.
I mean, the term brother in arms, right? Because these are.
Well, I did say, like, in the biblical sense, okay, but it wasn't being.
Well, I'm saying brother in arms, like these are men that I'm fighting a battle with, that and just like us, wrestlers, we form a brotherhood, closer when you're in the locker rooms with them all the time, traveling, but also when you wrestle somebody, dude. I remember when Japan, Mike Awesome dives on me, he overshoots me. Thank you, brother, because I literally saved him from injury. Same with you. You dove on me. Thanks, brother. And then you're fat. Like, ha, 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 because we're friends. But, like, I saved your life because I took your dive and made sure you didn't get hurt. But that's a brotherhood. And
yeah,
like,
but to his
just
point,
meeting
Tommy,
you.
That's what he was saying.
Yeah, I know.
That it's for you.
It's a right.
To say that,
it's a
but
right.
It's a right. You got to earn that fucking shit.
Let me just tell you two quick little experiences that I know all of us would have, and you could watch them for me on YouTube. Me and Jimmy Snuka. I'm green as grass, and Jimmy Snuka's cutting a promo at me, and I'm afraid in this promo. And I'm like, I think this man's going to hurt me. I think I'm going to have to fight, and I'm literally bowing up my hands to like, I don't want to have to fight this guy that I love. But he had me so convinced. Now, if he had me convinced, what do you think the fans are? Another time, Terry Funk, same thing. And Bubba could tell you how many times Terry, whether he was mad for real life or if Terry wasn't mad, like, I'm like, where is he going? I have to listen to him. Oh, my God, is he going to attack me? And he was with me. Or Beyond the Mat, where he said he swallowed a razor blade. I'm crying. Like, guys, he needs help. My hero... My mentor, he may have swallowed a razor blade. I don't still to know to this day if he did or not. He told me he swallowed 3 in his career. Okay, you're crazy. And my last experience happened 2 weeks ago, dude. I had a wrestler do a running front flip to my knee when I was standing. I dropped in the middle of the ring. Nobody knew what I was thinking. And for the first time, I'm like, I can't get up. Oh my God, I'm this hurt. I'm human. I'm looking around for help, but the referee, whose job is supposed to be to check on the wrestler, I have to call the referee over and say, "Ref, I'm hurt." And he's like, "What?" I go, I need help. And then what does the ref do? He throws the fake X symbol. I said, I don't give a fuck about that. Please get me a doctor. And then like he's standing there and I go, get out of the ring and get on a microphone. Find out if there's a real doctor here. Because I'm thinking my knee is like Sid right now. Because the way it buckled and bent. But all these things that are going through I'm like everybody. And then the wrestling fans think this is an angle. And I'm in the middle, what we say is a work shoot. No, I'm in the middle of a real situation and no one's knowing how to handle this. And then eventually.
You okay now?
Yeah, I'm all right. But I was able to finish the match, all this stuff. But like, dude, you have no clue. Like, I was like, oh, I have a big show next week. Oh, like, it's over. I never thought it was going to end like this. We don't have, like, laying in that for those legit 5-6 minutes, all this stuff went through my head where it was the most realist conversation. Or literally, I'm like, how am I going to get through customs with my leg? Am I going to be in a wheelchair? Am I going to have to be in Toronto for the next couple of weeks because I have to have surgery? Like, all these things are going through my head, and fans are just like, oh, well, this because when we've seen wrestlers get hurt their knees and then the person attacks them all the time. But I'm like, these fans don't realize you're in a really bad situation. And this is happening to me. And then, yes, I'm finishing the match, blah, 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 blah. But what I'm saying is, like, what is that fine line? Because we have pulled back the curtain way too much. And my only other thing that I have a bigger problem with, when I hear work, shoot, if something like, and we still talk about it today, the biggest shoot of all time, Brett versus Vince, Shawn Michaels, right? We still don't really have a definitive answer of whose fault was it, all that stuff. But we still have both sides of every story because it's been analyzed to death, but yet we still talk about it. If you're going to say, well, this is real and this isn't, why am I going to watch anything that isn't real with the work, shoot work? Let's treat this like a shoot, but work. That's how the wrestling business is supposed to be and how you're supposed to generate the most money.
But
How many
my
times?
whole
One
point,
more time, and then I'm shutting up. How many times I send our own Kelly Murphy clips from boxing, UFC, or even like the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul match? I'm like, you still believe this is real? Oh, I don't know, blah, 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 blah. And she was like, I'm kind of leaning towards some of the stuff that you guys are talking about. I'm like, trust me, I fought UFC people. Trust me, I fought this person. I fought that person. It's only as real as you want it to be.
Yeah.
Right, but my whole point, my whole point when you mentioned work shoot, Triple H mentioned that at the open of Monday Night Raw. So once you mention those terms, you can't fault the fans now for using those terms.
No,
But
you can't.
But I'll take
Are
you to the. I'm sorry, Mark. I just want to touch on his press conference, and you jump right in. Hunter said in his press conference that he did not want to insult the wrestling fan anymore. He doesn't want to be insulting. So what I believe in the open, while he's saying those words, he's acknowledging that, yes, we understand that we have pulled the curtain back so much that fans know these words. These particular words will just start to use. And you might even see them start to be used on Raw, SmackDown, NXT. But there's lots of other things that go on in this business that don't have to be as blatantly exposed. Mark, go ahead.
The ones that I just can't take the work, the shoot, the do the favor, like stuff that relates to the underbelly, the winning, the losing, the negotiation, the how, the where, the when. Like it's hard for me, and I just ask, like, from Hunter all the way to the guy that sweep the floor, please don't use it. Don't only use it with us. Damn.
Dave, the cameras are, and sometimes especially in the world of WWE, the cameras are always rolling. Backstage, locker room, in front of the camera, obviously. There are certain times when I know a camera is on me where I'll go take the camera off me.
Yeah.
Because of what I'm doing in that certain moment in time, I'm willing to get my ass chewed out by my superiors because I'm protecting the business. Because I know if somebody comes up to me and they go, hey man, we're filming over here, we're trying to get some aspects for this new home video, and I turn around and I go, I just wasn't comfortable saying what I was about to say to a fellow wrestler about a certain aspect of our promo or on match and get that on camera. I was trying to protect the business, brother.
There could be a moment with all these exposing the camera, the company, all that stuff. Think of a simple word, change the direction of WWE. Yeah, that'll put some asses in the seats. with the Mick Foley world title. That word changed it, and that company went out of business. There could be a time. What would separate wrestling from roller derby? What made it grow? Oh, well, roller derby, that's not real. And how come roller derby, but for roller derby was a draw for a little bit.
Huge.
What made it die? Well, it's not real.
Tommy, I used to watch roller derby, and I'll never forget. I read an article, and I want to say this was like the late 70s. I read an article in People magazine where they were interviewing like one of the female members of one of the teams, and they were talking about, it's fake, it's not real. Like, as soon as I read that article, I never watched roller derby again after that, because it completely exposed it. And it's one thing if there's a mystery about it, but here's somebody who actually does it and is currently doing it and is one of the biggest stars saying that this is all it's all fake. Why would I watch it now? What? It's not that
because it's still entertaining, and I would venture to bring up magic and magicians, and I always use the David Copperfield thing. You still pay $100 to see David Copperfield make the elephant disappear, and you know damn well the elephant didn't disappear.
But David Copperfield in an interview would never say, you know what? This is not real. This is all fake. This is all an illusion. Like, everything that I'm about to do, there's tricks and reasons why I'm able to do it.
Well, it's a trick. It's manipulation.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. I still think there's a line you should not cross, and I still think there's terminology you should not use.
Yeah,
brother. Tommy, Bully, Mark, thank you so much. You only get the Masters class exclusively right here on the Busted Open podcast. But if you like what you hear, you got 7 days a week of it on SiriusXM. Plus, we have brand new shirts, hoodies, wrapping paper. I mean, everything you could imagine is available for the Busted Open fan at podswag.com/Busted Open. For Tommy Dreamer, for Bully Ray, for Mark Henry, we'll talk to you next time right here on Busted Open's The Masters Class.